Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful booktastic day. For those of you who don't know, I recently just finished my junior year of college. That being said, I have taken quite a few classes in college. I've taken some that I have hated, and I've taken some that I love. So today I'm going to be sharing some of the college classes that I've taken that I really enjoyed and why I enjoyed them. A little bit of background: I go to a small liberal arts school in Oregon. There are only about 2,000 people there, so it's a pretty small school, very individualized education. I really enjoy going there. I am majoring in elementary education with a minor in theater. Now with that background, let's go into the classes that I've taken that I really enjoyed. First class that I'm going to share is actually one that I took my freshman year, and it is a sociology class that at my school is called Social Problems. I took this class as a requirement for my education major, and I am so glad that it was required because I don't know if I would have gotten the opportunity to take it otherwise. As the title of this class hints, in this class we sat there and talked about social problems in the world. We talked about inequalities and equities, the environment, racism, sexism, everything. I loved this class. It opened me up to the world of social justice. I grew up around Boise, Idaho, and although I did have very many positive times there, while growing up there was not that much diversity. As a result of that, when issues of racism, discrimination, or prejudice came up, a lot of people would shove that aside as me just being whiny or something like that. I had understood before taking this class that there were inequities and inequalities, but I never had the historical background to be able to explain myself. This class overwhelmingly made me feel justified about all the things that I had been feeling for a really long time growing up, as well as it opened me up to this world of wanting to take action upon these things. We had raw conversations in this class. There were some times where people would be yelling at each other from across the room. Thankfully, my teacher was a very, very great facilitator, but we had conversations that many people don't want to have because they're scary and they can make you uncomfortable, but I really valued having those conversations because I think too often we don't have those conversations for fear of making someone upset or making someone uncomfortable, but it's really important to have conversations that make you uncomfortable so then things don't get pushed under a rug. This class also ignited my love for education even more because education in my eyes is one of the ways that can help level the playing field when it comes to social justice. The next class I want to talk to you about, I took my sophomore year of college, and I'm cheating because this is two classes, but whatever. It is the Acting Fundamentals and Acting Advanced class at my school. As I said earlier, I am a theater minor, but I did not realize that I wanted to be a theater minor or that I could be a theater minor until my sophomore year. These two classes were kind of your basic acting classes. We had sports people and science people and people from all walks of life in this class because it was kind of the introduction to acting. I really loved it though because the class approached acting in a way that I had never really seen it before. We got to see how important movement is and how important breath and the way in which you do things can bring something to your character, and that was something that I had never really delved into. This class really just brought a whole new appreciation for the craft of acting. This class was also super therapeutic. For me, theater is almost like meditation. So every day we would walk into class and the professor, who was probably one of my favorite professors ever, would have us stand around in a circle and we would kind of check in and talk about how we were that day, and then we would all just like let everything go while we took our breaths in for that day and got ready to act. And it was amazing. I cannot explain how much this class just made me so happy. The next class is also an acting class, and it was Audition Preparation. This class was specifically to help students who wanted to audition, whether it is for more school stuff or for community theater or for professional theater. It kind of showed us what the etiquette was for auditioning and what to do. For this class, I think I read more than 30 plays to find monologue. When you audition with a monologue from a play, and you have to be able to find monologues from plays that fit your type of actor. I had never been coached in doing auditions before, and I'm so glad that I took this class because I now feel like I can walk into a room and audition and I would be golden. When I walked into this class, I was so maybe not so great at auditions, but now I can say that auditioning is one of my strong suits. Now onto the class that shows that I am very much a reader. It was a class entitled Teaching Reading Child and Adolescent Literature. And in this class, literally, we just read and analyzed children's, middle grade, and YA. Like, what? I love children's literature and middle grade, and I got to analyze those books, which is something that I don't think that we do very often outside of like elementary school. I was opened up to a world of so many children's books and middle grade that I had never ever read before, and it was just so great because now I feel that as I'm going into my student teaching next year, I have a huge library of books that I'm really excited to share with my students. Even though I knew it before, this class really instilled just how important reading is. Reading can do so much. It can introduce new topics, it can help deal with situations that are happening in your classroom. It can do wonders, and it felt very justifying because I've been feeling these feelings for a long time, but like it was justified in this class, so it was amazing. Next class I took this past spring, and it was Lifespan Development, which is a psychology class at my school. In this class, we started with like pregnancy and like when babies are first like made all the way to death, and we just kind of looked at what happens. People are complex, and this class just highlighted that so much. Like the amount of growth that a baby goes through from birth to 2 years old is like ridiculous. Because I see babies all the time and because I interact with small children, it doesn't seem like a huge miraculous thing to happen. But after taking this class, I would walk by a 5-year-old and they would point at something and say like, isn't that beautiful? And I'd want to cry because I'm like, you are so developed. I feel like I have a whole new like manual downloaded into my mind. So whenever something happens, it's like, I'm mad at you right now, but I know you're going through adolescent egocentrism right now, so I'm just gonna leave you alone because it's not your fault. It just opened me up to how wonderful humans are and how like ridiculous everything that we do is. The next class I took this past spring as well, and it was Expressive Arts. In this class, we learned how to integrate art into everything when it comes to teaching. How important it is to incorporate art into the things that you do in class, because it is more often that teachers are finding that they don't have time to have a specific art class or art time in their classroom. This class was so valuable to me as a teacher because I never went to elementary school. I was homeschooled, so it helped me see just how I can implement some of the things that I got to learn when I was homeschooled into an institutionalized classroom setting. Also, I finally think I understand how to lesson plan because of this class, and I feel prepared. I feel this class just made me feel so prepared. The next class that I'm going to talk about isn't really a class at all. It's the field experience that I have to do for my major. As an elementary education major at my school, you have to do some observances of classroom. As I stated earlier, I never went to elementary school, so certain things like calendar and carpet time and specials, I had no idea what those were at the beginning of this year. But because of my field experiences and my observations, I was able to see how a classroom works and what I do and do not want to implement into my own classroom in the future. I did field experience in 3 grade levels this past year. I was in kindergarten, 1st grade, and 4th grade. They were all so different, and I got to see how each teacher implemented their own ways of teaching into the school curriculum, and it really gave me an eye into what I want to do as a teacher. I feel so much more prepared going into my student teaching next year, and I think it is mostly because I was able to observe in these classrooms. That's all I have for the college classes that I have enjoyed so far, because I still have 2 more semesters before I graduate. I'm graduating. If you just graduated high school, first, congratulations. Or if you are currently in college, or if you're going back to college, or you were in college, in the description below, talk to me about the classes that you took or the classes that you are going to be taking and how you felt about them. If you have any questions about my college experience, please leave them down in the comments below. I hope you all have a wonderful, bliss-filled day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!